Hello everyone, I'm Tommy with Studio Sense. Today I'm bringing you my last summer haul with a little bit of a sad note. As the weather begins to cool down, people are thinking more about fall and autumn and winter, the difference in the fragrances they're going to be using. However, again, summer is not quite over, and that's why today I'm going to be bringing you my last summer haul. So when we return, we're going to go over the lineup, that and more, so stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to be bringing you 14 fragrances that I'm hoping are going to be solid to super solid for summertime use. Some of them are going to be transitional fragrances. I call this my last summer haul because this is going to be the last video that's going to be focusing at least primarily on summer fragrances. I want to give you some more options. We've talked a lot over the past several months about spring and summer fragrances, giving you reviews of lots of fragrances that I think are cheap, affordable, a little bit of niche, mostly designer. I try to keep things in the accessible category, and today is no exception. All 14 of these fragrances are going to be very accessible to you. None are going to be super expensive. And let's go ahead and dig right in. My first fragrance today came out in 2011. Perfumer Olivier Pachou is responsible for creating it. A lot of people compare it to Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. Personally, I kind of see where they're going with that. It does belong in the same category. I don't think it smells a lot alike, and that is Montblanc Legend. Let's go ahead and check out that presentation. Bergamot, lavender, citrus, white cedar, rose, jasmine, evernil, sandalwood, and tonka bean. All are infused in Montblanc Legend. Again, people compare it to Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. The portion of that I agree with is that you do pick up on some of the notes, primarily pineapple, apple, lavender, and tonka bean, kind of the infusion of those 4 different notes. And ever since Creed Aventus was released into the market and became wildly popular, the note of pineapple has become very popular as well, and it's one of my favorite notes. There's not really a superstar quality about Montblanc Legend, but it is a very reliable, dependable, solid fragrance workhorse. Again, it's great for everyday casual daytime and nighttime wear, primarily casual daytime wear, and it's good for all season. It works as a transitional fragrance. This doesn't really have the magnetic allure of Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce simply because it doesn't have the history of Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. However, it is a great alternative. This is a 100 ml bottle and it is an eau de toilette concentration. And you can get it anywhere between 20 and 30 bucks. Montblanc Legend. 6 years later, in 2017, Antoine Maisondieu and Olivier Pachou got together and made Montblanc Legend Night, the flanker. Let's check out that presentation. Montblanc Legend Night is an eau de parfum concentration. The performance is just above average with longevity and projection. Bergamot, sage, violet, vetiver, lavender, cedarwood, patchouli, and vanilla all make up Montblanc Legend Spirit. Now with notes like that, you'll automatically assume that it is a cool weather fragrance, and you would be right. It is a great transitional fragrance though, so worn in the cooler nights or cooler mornings of summertime as the weather transitions into fall or autumn. Very warm, very inviting, and the allure and magnetism that is missing in Montblanc Legend is made up in Montblanc Legend Night. So in my estimation, this is the superior of the two. Both are very well worth having, however, within that $30 range. As a fragrance, super, super solid. A great versatile daytime and nighttime casual wear fragrance, a great date night fragrance. In 2001, perfumer Corinne Cashin created a fragrance that is unfortunately now discontinued, going the way of the dodo. However, like a lot of fragrances that are mass-produced and suddenly just don't do as well as expected, there are still quite a few out there. I highly recommend that you pick this up, as well as Starwalker and Individual, before they get gone and the price gets jacked up. This one, however, is Montblanc Presence. Let's go ahead and check out that presentation. Montblanc seems to find their niche in solid, elegant, yet practical, and sometimes utilitarian application for not only their pens, but also their fragrances, and presence is no exception to that rule. Bergamot, ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, apple, heliotrope, sage, amber, musk, sandalwood, teakwood, and tonka bean all comprise Montblanc presence. I really like that. So good. Its opening consists of a fruity, apple-like, kind of an apple-cinnamon combination that sort of reminds you of like an apple strudel in the warm way that Boss No. 6 does. So it is a very inviting masculine fragrance that's a great transitional fragrance from warmer weather to cooler weather, but also as a warm weather fragrance, it works really well. In the mid, the note of vanilla becomes more predominant, and then after a little while, that moves aside to bring in the woody notes. And this resides in the woody, slightly vanillic area. This is one of those fragrances that you get what you expect out of it. Does a great job of being solid there when you need it, very fresh, very clean, daytime, nighttime, casual wear. And again, it's discontinued, so I would grab one up while you can. Montblanc Presence. In 2016, perfumer Fabrice Pellegrin created Lalique L'Insoumis. Let's check out that presentation. Like Montblanc Presence and Montblanc Legend, L'Insoumis is also an eau de toilette concentration. Basil, bergamot, rum, clary sage, lavender, black pepper, patchouli, Haitian vetiver, moss, and clearwood all comprise Lalique L'Insoumis. With Lalique L'Insoumis, you'll notice that the presentation is a little bit similar to Salvatore Ferragamo's Uomo series on the side there especially, but it's only reminiscent slightly. It's not, this is Ferragamo, this is like some kind of filigree type design related around birds and bird flight. If you see the 4 birds on the very top of the lid there, so it's only reminiscent at a first glance. In short, L'Insoumis is a very elegant, very masculine, kind of sweet basil-centric fragrance for men. This does have rum in the top. Unfortunately, I wish I had it in the mid or the base so that it lasted longer. So you get a slight rummy, only just the slightest, not really even boozy, just a little bit of rum that adds some sweetness to that basil. Lalique is known for kind of pushing the envelope in terms of designer fragrances and being near niche quality. This is not like that. This is more along the lines of a crowd-pleasing, mass-appealing fragrance that more people are going to like than more people dislike. As such, it's not derivative, it's not generic. I like it a lot. But again, it's not challenging, it's not off-putting, it doesn't push the envelope. It's a great office scent, great for daytime and nighttime casual wear. This one is a good warm weather fragrance. It's great for office wear because it does stay relatively close to the skin, and it's also extremely affordable, coming in at around the $30 mark. Lalique L'Insoumis. In 2014, Antoine and Shyamala Maison-Dou created an Only the Brave fragrance from Diesel called Wild. Let's check out that presentation. Top notes of grapefruit, lemongrass, and black pepper. Heart notes of lavender, nutmeg, geranium, and coumarin. Base notes of cedarwood, vetiver, musk, and coconut water. This sounds like it's going to be kind of like a coconut-centric beach type fragrance. Let's check it out. The atomizer is really good on this. So the lemongrass, the lavender, and the geranium happily give this somewhat of a floral intelligence, which I really like. It does have that essence of coconut. It almost has kind of like a Tommy Bahama feel in terms of, summer vacation. So as I anticipated, really nice beach fragrance. Has a little bit of synthesis in there, like a very, very slightly synthetic nuance or overtone, but that's an agreeable synthetic. So to me, it's not an off-putting synthetic. In terms of longevity and performance, this one actually might work in its favor. A lot of synthetic and aroma chemicals aid in longevity and kind of deter in fragrance, but in this case, I think it'll probably work in its favor. So if you do like that little bit of sweet, little bit of coconut in your drink, then OTB Wild might be just for you. The presentation is the typical Only the Brave line, which is the fist with the diesel on it and then a pump on the top. Atomizer works really well, and I think it's a nice flanker for Only the Brave. Time will tell in terms of performance, but for the price, we'll give it a shot. Again, just over 30 bucks. You might remember in my 6 discontinued fragrance video, which I'll link above if you haven't checked that out, I recommend checking it out. One of my favorite discontinued fragrances is from the design house Nikos. Nikos created another fragrance back in 1995 called Sculpture Homme by perfumer Michel Almaray. Let's check out that presentation. Like OTB Wild and Lalique L'Insoumise, Sculpture Homme is also an eau de toilette. Again, Sculpture Homme shares the same presentation as Nikos for men, kind of like that arrowhead or shard look, which I really like. It does make for a bottle that tips over relatively easy, so you gotta watch out for that. Bergamot, mandarin orange, orange blossom, and lemon in the top. Geranium, jasmine, lily of the valley, and rose in the mid. Amber, benzoin, tonka bean, and cedar is the base that it's resting on. So if there is a category for sweet, energetic, youthful, bubblegummy type fragrances, similar to Jean-Paul Gaultier La Male, Ultra Male, La Male Le Parfum, this would be it. This would fit in that category. Some people call this generic shower gel or derivative or synthetic. It is a little bit of all those things, but not in a bad way. Again, those things can work to your advantage. Sometimes synthetic fragrances can last and last. This is another one of those that is gonna last really well on your clothing. It's gonna last really well on your skin. It does give you above average performance out of a cheap price. This one, it's a 100 ml bottle for less than 20 bucks. There's not a lot to complain about here. This one isn't something you wanna wear to like a fancy upscale dinner party or something like that, but it's great for the office. It's a quick, easy, dumb reach for summertime wear, all around versatile, really all season wear. Say what you will, call it cheap, call it derivative, call it generic. I call it super useful and super cheap. If you don't like slightly sweet, slightly synthetic fragrances though, this one might not be for you. Give it a shot, you might be surprised. I really like it. Sculpture Homme by Nikos. In 2006, Acqua di Parma released what would become one of the most popular of the Blue Mediterraneo line, and that is Acqua di Parma Blue Mediterraneo Fico di Amalfi. Now this is a tester, so forgive the standard box, but let's check out that presentation. Really not much to the presentation, but I think in this case, simplicity equals elegance. Classic Italian style bottle. Italian lemon, Italian bergamot, grapefruit in the top. Fig nectar, jasmine, and pink pepper are the heart. Benzoin, cedarwood, and figwood are the base that it's resting on. So if you haven't guessed, of course, this is going to be what I would call a fig-centric fragrance. Once you get your nose on Acqua di Parma Blue Mediterraneo Fico di Amalfi, yes, it's a long name, you will be in pure heaven, and you'll see why it's so popular. You don't often think of fig as super refreshing, super masculine, or super elegant, but it is all those things. Fico di Amalfi is a classic. I mean, it was out in 2006, and you smell it today. That immediate burst of refreshing that is super elegant, super refined, yet still maintains that classic Italian fougere style. This one is just a little bit more due to the popularity of it, which you would expect. So it's very well worth paying though. Highly recommend Fico di Amalfi if you don't already have it. Excellent daytime, nighttime, casual wear fragrance. However, this one, because it is so refined, such good quality, you can definitely wear it in an upscale environment or circumstance. Another Acqua di Parma fragrance that came out in 1999 is equally popular. It is also in the Blue Mediterraneo line, and it is Arancia di Capri. Let's check out that presentation. Fico di Amalfi and ARANCIA di CAPRI are both eau de toilette concentrations. Bergamot, grapefruit, orange, Sicilian mandarin are in the top. Cardamom and petit grain are in the heart, and caramel and musk are the base that it's resting on. Wonderful atomizers on these. So good, oh my God. This fragrance is one of those that clearly lives from the specific top notes in the fragrance, primarily Sicilian orange, mandarin orange. It's a very orange citric fragrance. So you've got Clinique Happy, a lot of people like that because it is an orange fragrance. This, however, is, if you were to smell them side by side, you would think Clinique Happy is more synthetic. It is supremely orange. So if you like living inside of an orange fragrance, this is going to be the one that you want to get. But it also has that warm summertime feeling. Definitely a must-have in the Acqua di Parma line of fragrances. Fico di Amalfi and ARANCIA di CAPRI are favorites.